So I thought my identity was rooted in Christ till I really started thinking about it. And this is how I overcame that feeling of overwhelm. And you can see.
Friend, I'm Bianca, and this is the Virtuous Womanhood podcast. If you're a Christian wife and mother, then this is where you want to be. If you want to renew your mind biblically, if you want to let God's pruning process work in you, and you're willing to be sanctified and pruned and renewed and inspired to learn how to become the true woman that God desires you to be in your marriage, in your parenting, and in your home, so that we can exhibit faithful living in the hidden seasons, then stick around. Find the depth over the noise. Find the peace over pressure, and find real transformation that begins in the heart, right here. So let's become virtuous women together. Here on Virtuous Womanhood, I teach women to go deeper in renewing their minds and taking their thoughts captive and living set apart. If you want more daily life examples and motivation, we have a YouTube channel called The Bosses, which you can also go and check out.
And today I really want to tell you how I figured out that I was having a problem and how it was a problem. And then I'm going to tell you basically what I had to do to fix it, right? Okay, and I say fix it loosely. Today I want to tell you a little story. So I was, I would like to say that all this started after my second baby got born. He's 7 months old now. But it kind of like a little here, a little there already started long before that. So it just escalated in, say, the last while, if I can put it that way. Please enjoy a lovely zebra fringe there in the background. I just found myself being in the state of crying almost daily from the overwhelm of everything that I had to do, of how my space looked around me, and like the lack of control that I had. And I found that I was starting to shout a lot again, which I worked really, really hard to get over. And it suddenly just creeped in again, like me losing control and shouting. Especially obviously at my toddler, which doesn't make any sense. Because if I want her to control herself, then I should control myself. So, and then I constantly felt like I got nothing done, no matter how hard I worked, no matter how many things I got to be finished or got to do. Kind of like that whole mom guilt thing setting in, like, should I spend time cleaning the house? Should I spend time making healthy meals? Should I spend time homeschooling? Should I spend time working? Should I spend time playing? Where's my focus supposed to be? And I felt like I was spinning in this constant rat wheel, hamster wheel, where like I was just like, what's the next thing? Okay, what's the next thing? Oh, I have 5 seconds. What can I do? And really like, cool. I felt like I would like go like this in the kitchen, and I'm like, oh, what am I supposed to do? What should I do? What's the fastest thing to do? What can I accomplish? And then feeling like I got nothing done at the end. Like really feeling like my brain was fried. And I have to work very hard to overcome the feeling of I have a very strict schedule and I can control every single thing, to being extremely flexible with having children, because you need to be that flexible. Which, like, I got there, and then I felt like I just fell off, you know? I don't know. I couldn't sleep. I would lie in bed at night rethinking every single conversation that I would have with anyone that day. Thinking, maybe I should have said this instead. Oh, I wish I would have said that instead. That would have been so much smarter to say. Um, this, I should have done that instead. What if this happened? And then I would start like imagining and overthinking, like, disasters happening, or someone breaking in, or someone dying, or a car accident, like playing it all out, the whole hospital scene. What to do? Like, I would lie in bed for hours and hours just thinking about unrealistic nonsense, thinking about what does those people think of me? How can I improve this and this and this? What should I do with this and this and this? And trying to come up with a plan when I was supposed to be sleeping. And I constantly struggle with insomnia, and I was so anxious that if plans changed or something else happened, um or my husband was late for work, then I would get so frustrated and like feel like everything was falling apart and was just falling out of my hands, or wow, you're noisy, or feel like I would start stressing and like getting tense and anxious, and like on the outside I would be calm and like, yes, it's fine, let's go, and inside my head would be like almost feeling like there's electricity streaming through me and like small shocks through my brain. And then when I would get in the car, I would literally have to go like, calm down, just to like breathe and center myself. Um, Clearly, there's so many animals having an opinion in this video. And then all those things were happening, and I was thinking, you know what? Ugh, it's fine. I'm just adapting. I'm just tired because of the lack of sleep. I'm just finding the new rhythm. It's okay. I'll get there. Like, kind of like telling myself it's fine. We'll be fine, you know? And all that things. And then like I was dreaming of slow living and having this homesteading life, and just told myself I'll never have it because I'm too lazy. My house is always a mess. It's always untidy. There's always something that's not clean. There's always like, I never get everything done. I'm too lazy to be the type of mom who gets it all done. That's what I would just, yeah, I wouldn't say it, but I would think it, you know? And then there was this moment where it all just clicked that change needs to happen. And that was like, I thought I was overwhelmed, but I was always blaming other things. Like, I'm overwhelmed because the house is too full. I'm overwhelmed because I have to do it all on my own and no one's helping. I'm overwhelmed because there's so much shouting in my ears. I'm overwhelmed because I'm out touched and everyone's just on me the whole day. I'm overwhelmed because I you know, like all these reasons, external reasons of why I'm feeling overwhelmed. And I started zoning out. I would literally like be, say, getting ready to nurse my baby. But as I'm like opening my clothes and trying to position him, I'm not actually focusing on like my movements. I literally like just stare out the window and zone out. Or like I know what I'm doing, but I'm just like there and not here. Or I would be like sitting and watching my kids play and having a chat with them, and then Laura would talk to me and I would realize like I hear her, but I'm not actually registering what she's saying to me. It's like my brain is not somewhere else, frozen. It's like I'm like watching myself, or I know that I'm listening, but it's like it's not coming in. I'm like, you're speaking to me, but I don't know what you're saying. I don't know what to do, and then I'm just like frozen. And when that started happening, I quite fast realized, whoa, I need to fix this. This can be a very dangerous thing to happen. I cannot zone out. I am responsible for 2 kids. I'm constantly working with the stove. I'm constantly working with safety around my children. I cannot zone out. I cannot afford feeling like this. I cannot afford this happening. And then I really started thinking, and I always thought that my identity was really well rooted in Christ, and I overcome that whole thing of finding my identity in others until I really started thinking, and I was like, oh, but I'm still finding my worth in that instead of God. There's so many things that happened. Okay, so next I want to tell you realizations that I had. So all this overwhelm was happening, and I was just zoning out, completely out of control of when this would happen. And like I would still be conscious. Nothing dangerous ever happened. Thank God for that. But like it must be just him helping me out here and taking care of us, But like it immediately, like within a few times of that happening, I realized there's a problem. This is not laziness. This is extreme overstimulation in my nervous system. This is not just I'm tired or an effect of being a mom or an effect of making complete life change. This is not just an effect. There is a bigger thing going on. And I really realized that there's something going on with my brain. The fact that I was zoning out, there's something wrong in my brain. And I studied psychology, and in that, we do a lot of brain biology. So I knew that my nervous system was going haywire. My fight or flight, I was doing fight, flight, or freeze, and I was freezing because my brain wanted to scream and run away. My brain signaled danger. And I was probably getting a very influx of cortisol and adrenaline, and then I would freeze. And I had to heal my brain. I have to heal my brain. I have to rewire my brain. And I've done that in the past multiple times, but I've never really had that moment where I was like, something's literally physically, chemically going on inside my brain, and I need to solve this problem. So I started realizing a few things. I sat myself down and I just started thinking. I literally took a week and I was like, I am not working this week. I am not working. I am not cleaning. I am just gonna sit and think. I'm gonna read my Bible. I'm gonna journal a lot, and I'm gonna think, and I'm gonna figure out what to do. Because if I'd rather take a week of falling behind than months of blowing up. So I took a pause and I was like, okay, let's get to the bottom of this. And I realized a few things. I asked myself the following questions, and I was like, who sets my to-do list? Okay. Who decides what is important to do? Who decide what is my worth? Whether I'm a good wife, a good mom, or a good homemaker. Who decides that? Who actually decides what I am capable of? And my first answer, honestly, candidly, to these things was other people. Other people would virtually tell me what is important to do in my life, what is my worth, how capable am I, what is my to-do list. And virtually, I mean, in my mind, nobody would actually say it. I mean, it was my mind telling me that those people are telling me to do this. This is what they are doing, so this is what I should be doing. And I'm not just talking about people on social media, but obviously, yes, people on social media constantly tells you, this should be your morning routine. This should be your evening routine. This is how we live slow. You cannot live slow if you don't have chickens and ducks and a garden, if you don't do sourdough. And then there's other people around you, like friends and family, where their habits also like give off on you. Where like for that person, they need to go to bed with these things done. So that's probably what I should do too. That person believes this and this and this is important in parenting. So that's probably what I should believe too. Gathering all my opinions from others' opinions was the true answer. That was where I would start from. Where I would start from, this is the things that needs to be done. This is the things that are important. And I never got everything on my to-do list done. I never got those important things done. Basically, I realized I was answering these 4 questions. And like, I thought, yes, me, obviously me, obviously me, obviously me. Obviously, I set my to-do list. Obviously, I decide what's important. Obviously, I decide what's my worth. And obviously, I decide what I am capable of. But that was not the truth. It was the opinions of others in my head, virtually, that was making the decisions. So I was like, okay, maybe that's the problem. And then I went even further. It's like, okay, what about, because I was like, I need to take control back. I need to decide these things. And then I felt a nudge from the Holy Spirit and I was like, hello. I was like, you're right. I don't have to decide. God decide. So it was this whole idea of others virtually versus me versus God. Why not? The easiest one was like, well, who tells me what I'm worth? God. And then I went from there and I was like, but why don't I let God tell me what's my to-do list? Why don't I let God tell me what's important? Why don't I not let God tell me what I am capable of? Okay. And then I came down to an action plan of how to fix this whole situation. And I can tell you from the start, I didn't change my physical environment. I didn't fix the external things that was causing the overwhelm. I fixed myself. I fixed my own brain. And I really want to share that with you. So first off, I was like, okay, I need to calm my nervous system. I need to learn how to calm my nervous system down, right? So I was like, okay, let's start with the basics. Let's do the lights. So I would put on fairy lights, turn down the main lights. Not all the time. My husband does not like the darkness, like walking, doing things on low lights. He wants to see. Okay, so in certain moments, like when I was cooking dinner, I wouldn't have the overhead lights on. I would have all the fairy lights on and some candles. Then when we would eat dinner with my husband, we would leave the candles on but put the overhead light on. And then I would switch off the overhead light again after that. We would take a bath with a dimmed light. So we bought like this battery light that just magnetizes onto the wall. It looks like a wall light, but it lights up like it's movement triggered. What's the word? But it's dimmer. So we use candle lights, or we put on the lights in the bedroom and not in the bathroom, so that you don't get that direct light. Then in all the bedrooms, we put on, what do you call them? Wi-Fi lights. And they're all on a schedule. Like, you can dim them, you can change the colors. So I changed the colors during the day to like light and bright colors. And at night, it's like red or an orange, like amber colors, and then I dim them extremely. So you can still see everywhere. And in the house, it's like fairy lights. The bedrooms have like the amber lighting. It's not true amber because for the life of me, couldn't find amber globes in like South Africa online. I don't know why, just couldn't find some. So I just like changed the color to amber. And then and in the like TV room where we spent our evenings, is we just put the lamp on and not like the overhead light. So that's the first thing I did, was change the lighting. It was kind of like romanticizing things also a little bit. The second thing I did was music. I stopped putting on like lively music in the day, which I would do because I was tired and I was like, I need to stay awake. So I put on like Christian EDM or Christian alternative pop, like this very like almost like Brandon Lake type of songs. So like lively music. But it's all like it's busy, and the kids are busy. And I did that to keep myself awake and energized. But it was backfiring because my brain was like, so I changed the music and we went down to like cottage core instrumental music completely. So I personally, I do not like worship music, like the modern worship music that you play in church, or like the instrumental worship. It makes me fall asleep and it makes me feel very irritated. I have no idea why. I just cannot listen to that. So if I want like energizing music, I listen to like Christian indie music. But during the day, the only thing that you find in my house playing is like cottagecore music. So that would be like Ophelia Wild and like this typical cottagecore instrumental music. That's what was playing. And I would put like either on Spotify on the speakers, or I would put on the TV on this like very calm cottage or nature, serene rivers, foresty scene where it's just like birdies and things. And it was beautiful. And it immediately changed my entire mood. I didn't feel so like rushed and like overstimulated. I didn't feel like I wanted to scream from all the sounds. It just calmed me down. And again, it kind of felt like romanticizing my life, where I was like, oh, everything feels so nice. And yesterday, even my daughter was like, can you put on that music that you put on when no one is sleeping? And I was like, when no one is sleeping? She's like, yes, the one with the little house and the birds. I was like, oh, you want the cottagecore music? So I put that on for her. So that's the second thing I did to calm my nervous system down. The third thing I did to calm my nervous system was breathing techniques, which I obviously actually always do when I feel angry or frustrated. Like, I had to teach myself how to work through anger so that I could teach my children. But then I started like doing it on a regular, even if I did not feel mad, because I had to calm myself down. And I would tell myself, you're not in danger, breathe. Okay, again. And then I would like put deep pressure on my hands and just like, I don't know why, but for some reason here on my neck, it really calms me down. So like pressing here and here. And that's all I did. Like, I do that a few times throughout the day. Even if I feel fine, it literally calms me down. Like, that deep pressure immediately calms me down. Or I would, like, when I sit down ever, which is almost never, I would press on the bottoms of my feet, like soles of my feet, and that calms me down. Or I would go outside and walk barefoot on the grass. I did a few videos back, a video about like my winter mindset, because I really struggle with winter. So I can't go outside and I miss that, but I'm finding different ways of doing things. Okay, so then the fourth thing that I did to calm my nervous system down, and this thing was kind of life changing to me, was I gave myself permission to stop immediately, no matter what it is. So in my mind, I would be like busy with something and I would feel myself getting overwhelmed. Say, for example, we were busy doing a homeschool lesson. Okay, this is just an example. There's lots of things. But say we're doing a homeschool lesson. So we have to do the whole page up to here and then we're done. I think this is kind of also my personality. Like, I'm a perfectionist and things need to be perfect. So if we, for example, would do a lesson and me or Laura would be starting to like fight against it, like she's not focusing, she's distracted, or I'm getting irritated because she's struggling with something, and the homeschooling is just one example. Like, this would happen while cooking, while playing, while reading, while literally anything, okay? But you're busy and then you're only in the middle. And then I would tell myself, I must push through until the end. Then we can switch to something else. Like, I need to finish. If I can just finish this, like, I would be cooking and say there was a tantrum going on and nap time was very close. And I'm like, I just need to finish this. Can everyone? And then I would like start screaming or just start losing. I'm like, please stay quiet. Like, I need to finish. Can I just finish this? Or I would tell myself, just finish. You're almost there. You're almost there. Like, I didn't have permission to do what I wanted. Like, someone was watching me and I had to finish. Like, it was a race or a tick box that has to be ticked or something will explode. But then I realized, like, why? I can give myself permission to just stop. I can put the stove off, get everyone calm, change the scenario, and go back to starting. If dinner is a few minutes late, that's okay, because we connected. We focused on what was truly important, and that's the hearts. And everyone's hearts and minds and souls and spirits, and that's the important thing here, not dinner time. Who the hell cares if something is 10 minutes late or half an hour late? Doesn't matter. If we get to bed an hour late because we had to stop and just breathe instead of explode on each other, then it's definitely worth it. Okay, and then bedtime's going to be easier too, because you don't have that child that felt, I never got my attention today. So I literally gave myself, I had to tell myself, you have permission to stop whenever you need to in the middle of something. Now, the only thing that I don't stop is changing a diaper, which I've kind of felt like doing, but I'm like, I'm not cleaning pee, so let's just close this diaper, okay? But everything else, literally everything else, if I need to, I just stop, put off what needs to put off or make it safe, and then move to a new situation. Let's go. I love summer because you can go play with water. All kids love water. But let's go outside. Let's go run. Let's go sit and read a book. Let's just all go somewhere else and pray. Just switch whatever you're doing, like just switching. I like switching what you're doing. Like, if it's something physical, go do something mental or opposite. And I also like making sure there's like some sensory thing, but just one sensory input. Are we listening to the birds, or are we listening to a story? Obviously, story is reading too, but it's not like all 5 senses activated at once. And don't overthink that. Just like do the calming thing, okay? Or I like to also switch the place. So if we're in the kitchen, we would move outside, or we would move to the living room, or we would move to the bedroom. Like just switch the physical place. That also helps. So those are the 4 things that I did to calm my nervous system down. So the second part of my action plan was mindset and prayer. I had to change my mindset and I had to pray. So now that I can calm my brain down, I need to change the word patterns in my brain, if that makes sense. Kind of like neuroplasticity. I had to do neuroplasticity, like building new brain pathways. And like it says in Romans 12 verse 2, you have to do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind. So that you can test and prove what is good, acceptable, and perfect. Okay, so I really wanted to focus on renewing my mind. Let's transform the way my mind works and functions because of how I was raised, because of how society is, because of all these things that had an influence on how I do things and how I think things. For example, why do you put your spoons in the drawer? Because everybody does. That's where spoons go. Spoons go in the cutlery drawer. But what if I never use my spoons anywhere there? I only use spoons at the coffee station. Why not put it at the coffee station? Because that's weird. It should be in the drawer. But who says? It's your house. Kind of like that situation. Or the thing that I hear a lot of moms do these days is moving the socks to the door. Why is the socks in your room, in your closet? Because that's where socks go. That's where your clothes go. But if you don't put your socks on there and you put it on at the door, why not keep it at the door? Kind of like that mentality. Like, why do I think the way I do or do things the way I do? Why is my daily rhythm and priorities and focuses in this way? Because that's what I was taught. That is what I saw. That is what I observed. That is the norm. But this is my home. So why can I not change that? So that's what I wanted to accomplish. And I knew what I wanted to do, but I just had to sit and think and work through the process to actually get it done. Okay. So mindset and prayer goes hand in hand in my belief. I believe that you cannot change your mind and renew it to what is true, what is honest, what is honorable, what is just, what is good, what is perfect. You cannot do that without prayer, because where do you find good things? From God. So you have to pray to God to get them. Okay, so that's just my belief. So it goes hand in hand. I am not going to do any new age mindset weirdness things. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to open doors to evil spirits. Okay, so what I did was I prayed for God to help me do the following things. I prayed that I first memorized the Bible verse, Romans 12 verse 2. I did memorize the other one, like take your thoughts and measure it against Christ and keep them true and pure. But I kind of forgot that one again because I didn't repeat it enough. So I want to memorize it again. So I'm doing that, getting there. Okay. So, but I memorized scripture and I prayed. And if you saw my Bible video, I'll put it there. I like journaling, so I have a prayer book, and like some of my prayers, I do like writing them down. Okay, so I prayed the following things. I asked God to please help me hold my tongue and be confident every single time before I would speak to someone. Now you might think, whoa, Bianca, that's extreme. Like, guys, if you are at night or after a conversation, every single time going through that whole thing and looping it in your mind, why did I say that? I should have said that. Why did I not? Like, what did they really mean when they said this? Like, did I actually understand that correctly? What if I made a fool of what are they thinking about me? What if they judge me? Like, and you're constantly looping conversations in your mind. Every time before I saw people, I would ask God, like, God, Holy Spirit, talk through me, flow through my words, give me the confidence from you, like the godly confidence, and like strengthen my identity in who I am in you, and help me hold my tongue. And then I would end with something like, I trust and I give over this conversation to you. And like, I could feel every interaction that I had go differently. I could feel that, I don't know if people felt it different. For me, I don't care, honestly, anymore. I don't. For me, it was different. I felt different, and I stopped overthinking, and I stopped looping conversations, and I walked away, and I was like, I feel good. That was good. And I would leave it at that. And I would stop overthinking it. And if I would catch myself going back to the conversation, like, then I would immediately pray, like, God, I give it into your hands. You work in that person. I'm just going to move on. Okay. And like, I would pray, God, keep my focus on you and not on people. That is my prayer. And God is helping me do that. So if we look at Proverbs 25, verse 6 and 7, it says, do not exalt yourself in the presence of the king, and do not stand in the place of the great. For it is better that he say to you, come up here, than that you should be put lower in the presence of the prince whom your eyes have seen. So when I gave over my conversations to God, I also decided that I will humble myself, and like, it doesn't matter if I don't look like the best person here. It doesn't matter if I lose the debate. It doesn't matter if I look bad in their eyes or in their opinion, because only God's opinion of me matters. So I will humble myself and not try to exalt and be the best. I will not try to be better than. I will not try to stand up like the great. I will just let the Spirit do this thing. Let the Spirit be. And if that means that that person thinks that I'm weak, or thinks that I'm stupid or silly or whatever, I don't care anymore. Because when I am lost on earth and I serve and I let God work through me, I'm going to be first in heaven. And having the realization that I can be humble without feeling like a failure, that really helps. Then I moved to the thing of like, I do not have to do what others tell me to do. I get to decide what my priorities are. Okay. And I do not have to live according to others' opinions and priorities. I get to decide my own. Just because someone else puts their kitchen to sleep at night, that does not work for me. No matter how hard I try, I just cannot do that, because it's like there's something kicking against it. And I realized that I am not the type of person who cares if there's stuff in the zinc. As long as my workspaces are clean when I come in the morning, I don't care if there's something in the zinc, because I can do a rotation of the dishwasher later. It does not bother me as long as there's space. So I want to clear out my kitchen. I don't care what happens in the cleanup station. Okay. So that's one thing that I realized. And I went and I thought, okay, just because someone else focuses on this and this areas, what do I want to focus on? What areas in my home am I going to prioritize? And what is important to me? What is my priorities? So I sat down and I decided my priorities are certain, like, is God, my husband, and my children, our relationships, our hearts. Those are my priorities. And then my priority right now is to breathe and find joy. Like I want to have a joyful, peaceful lifestyle no matter what. No matter whether I'm failing at homemaking or my job, or whether I'm successful at homemaking or my job. I want peace and joy always, all the time, no matter what. And those are my priorities. And I'm going to prioritize on fixing my health because I'm struggling to kick this cold. Like, it's terrible. So this is my priority right now. And whatever falls into that is what I'm going to do. And every single day, I'm going to ask myself, or I'm going to ask God, what do I want to do? And what do I need to do? And I'm going to make sure I finish my need to do first before I want to do something. So sometimes I need to wash the dishes and I want to play outside. So I will wash the dishes first and then play outside. But then on other days, Holy Spirit would work in me and tell me, you know what? You need to play outside and you want to wash the dishes. So I will go outside first and I will realize later, like, my children really needed this. They really needed this. They really needed me to fill my tanks in order for me to actually go and do the dishes like I wanted to. Otherwise, the whole day would just explode. So really like changing the mindset of I get to decide what's important. I get to decide what's on my to-do list, not others' opinions and other people's habits, but me. And I can change it every day. It doesn't matter because I can ask God what is important for that day, and God will tell me, and then I can change it. I don't have to listen to other people. And just that mindset shift, it's like my anxiety and my fried brain just went click, calm. I didn't physically clean anything, change anything. My brain just calmed down. And you know what? After that, I didn't zone out anymore. Like, not once. My brain calmed down. And after doing my nervous system and my mindset and prayer, I stopped zoning out. And I was like, breakthrough, breakthrough, like, hallelujah. I have breakthrough. And it's like, okay. Then I took I literally just focused on that for like a whole week. And then the next week, I was like, okay, now that I'm calm, I can think again. Because my brain was fried. I couldn't, if you told me what do I have to do, then I would like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know where to start. It's too much. So after I could calm my brain and rewire my brain, I was like, okay, now I can start tackling the physical problems, tackling my excuses of what is causing my overwhelm. Okay. So I started working on my habits and homemaking. And in the beginning of this video, I said how I am overcoming my overwhelm. How am I getting there? Now, I really want to emphasize this. Like, this is not a once and done. You don't do it once, you fix it once, and then it's done. You every day need to take control of the situation and give it over to God. Every day I need to pray to God and ask Him, help me do this, help me refocus me. And the one day that I skip so far since I've started this whole thing, honestly, I've skipped one day. That day was horrible. It was terrible. My husband came home. I was shouting. I was screaming. Everyone was crying. It was a terrible day. And you know what? My husband ended up extremely angry that night. Not even at me. It's like he just took on everyone's emotions. And he got the same as us. Like, he matched us. Because I am the Israel community. I am the atmosphere of this home. So I literally, like, anyway, let's just leave it there. Let's move on. Okay, so my habits and my homemaking things that I took on the week after that was, first off, I was like, okay, Bible time first and journaling every single day. That is what I have to do before I have to do anything else. Because otherwise, I feel like I want to scream and cry, and that's how I feel. So, this was my morning routine. I would get up, I would kind of like shoot off a prayer in my head. I would come make my husband's lunch. And then I would give my daughter breakfast. If I wanted breakfast, then I would eat a quick breakfast, like porridge, okay? I would make a coffee, and then my husband would change Noah's diaper, and then I would go and sit and do Bible time. That's like, I don't care about anything else. As long as my husband's lunch is ready and he can leave for work, my kids, both bums are clean and they're quickly fed. Like, I would wake up and nurse and then get up, okay? Then everything was fine. So I can go do my Bible time. And the kids would honestly always join me, okay? And then it's like, I have to do my Bible time first and journal. I just have to. Sometimes I would leave my journaling for a little bit later. If the kids were getting a little uneasy and like couldn't sit still, then I would first like get their energy out and things like Swift. But Bible time is a must. I have to do that. Then I changed my priorities. I was like, okay, what is priorities in this house? What is my MVPs, my most valuable places? And what is my musts? I must do that. So I decided I must make sure that everyone has something healthy to eat. That's my number one focus. I must make sure the laundry is washed and clean and dry, okay? I don't care if it's not packed away. Like, it bothers me, but it's not a must. If there's a pile and you have to go look for your clothes in a pile, so what? It's clean, okay? That was the priority. The must was getting it clean. That was my must. And then every day I would pick a most valuable place. Most of the time, that's like, almost like a most valuable task as well. Most of the time, it's tidying, honestly, kids. Most of the time, my MVP is I need to tidy something, a spot, at least one spot in the house. So I would choose like whatever I had time for. Some days I have 5 minutes. Some days I have an hour, okay? Some days I have 5 minutes or 2 minutes every single day for 3 days in a row. And then one day I'm like, okay, I can do a good tidy now, a 15-minute one. So I need to decide, what am I going to clean and do today? And tidying for me is part of cleaning, okay? So what am I cleaning and focusing on today? Am I doing the bathroom, or am I just doing the toilets? Am I doing the kitchen, or am I just doing the kitchen table? Like, I had to every day, and I pray for like wisdom for this, but every day I focus on one thing. And I change my complete mindset from I have to have a clean home, because cleaning never ends. There's no end in cleaning. You have to constantly clean. It's a daily thing. You can never stop. You never get to a point where you can stop and it's done always, because like 10 minutes later you have to start again, okay? So I changed that mindset from I need to have it clean to I just need to stay in constant cleaning mode. And that kind of gave me room to breathe, like, if I don't get it done today, I can get it done tomorrow. And if I don't get it done tomorrow, I can get it done next week. It will get done. So now I'm kind of like rotating everything and adapting as I go. Like, today I'm focusing on this, and tomorrow I'm focusing on that. And that's how I'm approaching my home. And yes, you're going to walk in here and there will be at least 1 or 2 rooms that's not clean and tidy. And honestly, that's your problem. I don't care. This is my home. And for my sanity, that's what I need to do in this season. It's not going to stay that way forever. I'm going to find my rhythm. My baby's going to have to go to bed less. I'm like spending 3-4 hours a day getting him to sleep. So it's going to adapt. My lifestyle will change. But in this season where I'm at right now, for this month, some spaces just will be dirty and messy. And that's okay. And I'm okay with that. It might be irritating and frustrating sometimes, but that's what we need to do to make sure that the hearts and the souls and the spirits in this home is calm, peaceful, and joyful. Okay, so that's what I did. I prioritized, like, literally, and I do it on paper. Then I appointed a focus for each day. So this is basically the things that I have to do. I have to home make, which includes cooking, cleaning, all of those things. Okay, everything home. I have to home make. I have garden as well in here. I have to like connect with my kids, spend time with my kids. I have to homeschool, and and homeschool's kind of like in play, but it's structured and it's like mental energy, right? And then I have to like be a wife and spend time with God, and I have to, but that's kind of every day. So I didn't actually count that one. I have to work. Like, I'm working from home now. I have my own business now. I need to work. Okay, so those are the things. So I was like, okay, every day I'm going to pick two and I'm going to rotate it. So for example, Mondays is home day and kids day and planning. Okay. Tuesdays is, and when I say kids day, when it's not a kids day, I do not play with my kids. I just play more with them on the day when it's kids day, like more intensely. Like, instead of just going outside with them, watching them play in the sand, I would play with them in the sand, anyway. So home and kids day. Then the next day would be homeschool and work. That would be the focus. The next day would be work and kids. The next, and errands. The next day would be home and homeschool. Okay. And then the next day would be kids and work. Like, I would shift it like that, and like choose a focus for each day. It doesn't mean I do nothing in the other category. It means like my main focus for that day is on that thing. And so far, I hope it makes sense. Like, let me know if you need like a more in-depth video on that. But so far, that really, really helps me out. And then I had to analyze systems. Now, this is still an ongoing thing, as long as decluttering as things are bothering me, because I used to do like all decluttering days. I have decluttering videos that I post, but sometimes I just need to declutter as something is bothering me in that moment, and not like, okay, I have to get to this, but just like take the thing out and throw it in the dustbin and don't care about whether I have to donate it or not, because sometimes that mental energy makes it worse. And then analyzing my systems, like this space is getting messy all the time. Why? Like, me and my husband literally had to have that conversation last night. And like, let's sit down and think, why is this happening? Why did we go from it gets done in 24 hours, which is fine, to it's not being done in like 3 days? What happened? And we had to like analyze the system, like, okay, so this is the plan forward. Let's just go back to what worked, or let's change it. And because sometimes we just lose a habit, or sometimes we just, life changes, seasons change. Okay, so basically analyzing the systems as I go, like why, asking why, figuring out a plan of action there. And then I had to let it go. Like, if something doesn't get done, just let it go. There you go. If that thing keeps happening, say the laundry doesn't get packed away all the time like it used to, because I had a wonderful laundry system, but now like there's extra laundry in between, in the mix, obviously. Another kid, diapers again. So now I'm not always finishing my system like I used to. So find a new system. And if it's not happening, just let it go. And I don't mean let go of laundry and let it just go to crap. I mean, let the mental stress of it go. It's okay. We'll get it back one day. We'll try again tomorrow. It's okay. We'll try again tomorrow. If it fails, we'll just try again. It's okay. We'll try again. And instead of like making myself feel bad about not getting it right, just like, it's okay. It's okay. It's not that big of a deal. Is this going to change like our memories? No. Is this going to change whether we go to heaven or not? No. So then who cares? It's okay. Just let it go. I had to really like do that with my habits and homemaking. And last thing that we did with prioritizing or analyzing systems was we started habit stacking, and I'm doing it with my daughter. So when we get up, before she goes out of her room, she has to get dressed and has to make her bed. And if I expect that of her, I have to do it too. Okay. So I'm not someone who likes making their bed. I like letting my bed breathe. Like I would just drag things open and later in the day go make my bed. That's the way I would do it. Like let it breathe in the morning and like noon go make my bed. But we wanted her to make her bed because that's one of her chores and get dressed. Otherwise, I struggle later in the day to like I would myself do it at noon, but she just wouldn't. She would fight it. So we were like, okay, habit stack. We've trained her. You come out when your light is blue. Now we add the habit. When the light is blue, you have to make your bed. Okay, get that done. After a week, okay, when you make your bed, you have to get dressed. Okay, so now we have this whole system in the morning and it's working wonderful. And we're actually at the point where I'm going to add another habit stack, not in the morning, but at a different time. And habit stacking is really, really working wonders with her and for me as well. To overcome my overwhelm, I had to calm my nervous system. I had to change my mindset in prayer. I had to change my habits and find new ways of doing habits and homemaking. Give myself permission to do it different than everyone else, and only care what God thinks, like ask his opinion and ignore the rest. Okay. And the whole point was, like I said in the beginning, I was dreaming of slow living and homesteading, but thinking of slow living is this and this and this and this, but it's not. Living slow is being present in the moment. So to overcome my overwhelm, I tell myself constantly, be present, find the joy in this moment and take that in. Everything I do, that's what I mean. Focus on. Be present, find the joy in this moment and take it in. And it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. I hope and I pray that this is very helpful to you.
If you enjoyed this episode, I'd love it if you could leave me a review and share with a friend. It would really help this podcast grow so the more mothers can have a flourishing marriage, parenthood, and home, just according to God's heart for us. So thanks for spending this time with me, friend, and we'll talk again soon.